Astrology Butterfly, back with another video. As always, sending you guys our peace, blessings, love, and abundance. Hopefully you can hear me clear enough. My father is mowing the lawn right now. But this video is actually about reality TV shows, specifically reality TV shows with a predominantly melanated or black female cast. And I'm actually going to talk about The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's a show that I used to be like really into. And if you don't know, back in 2016 when I started my awakening process, I actually cut out TV altogether, and I would watch movies from time to time, or I would stream certain TV shows from time to time, but I mainly would watch YouTube videos with other conscious people. I would read a lot of books and, you know, those types of things, getting into meditation. I was literally doing a whole 180 and doing the complete opposite of what I had been doing the majority of my lifetime. Excuse me, but starting back January of this year, I got back into watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I actually took a few notes, and then I'll expand as, you know, I feel. So basically, with The Real Housewives of Atlanta and other reality TV shows which have a predominantly melanated female cast, it's basically like a microcosm of the divide that's within the melanated females on this plane, or the black females on this plane. Each cast member is casting a spell over the person that has similar frequency or energy. So if you're vibrating at the frequency of a Nene, that's going to be your girl. If you're vibrating at the frequency of a Portia, that's going to be your girl, and Candy, and so on and so forth. You actually are going to feel a certain kindred spirit or connection to that person because your energy is in alignment with that person. And so it's also like certain songs that you are magnetically magnetically pull your energy. So like, I've never been a fan of Keisha Cole. I like the song Love. That was the only song she did that I actually liked. But women who actually who have that kind of like heartache, like that Fantasia type of situation, like vibe, where they're like crying over a man, or sad over a man, or that Mary J. Blige type of shit. Which I was at that Mary J. Blige state back in the day, like when I was 14 and 15, believe it or not. But, you know, I moved past that stage, and so you're going to be more geared towards that energy. Whereas for me, I was more geared towards the Beyonce, like the independent woman type of vibe, who run the world girls and all that shit like that. That was the vibe that when I was more unconscious and I was driven by my ego, that's the type of vibe that I was like flowing with for the main part. So it's literally the same thing. So it's like that particular person, their vibes, their songs, their vibrations that they're sending out, their frequency that they're sending out is something that you are a magnetic match to. So if you're a match to it, then that's what you're going to cheer for or root for. I was never a Nene fan. I literally thought she was like abrasive, and what she called real to me was fake, because she could tell people certain things, but if somebody was quote unquote real to her, then she played the victim, and I didn't like that shit. I thought, okay, if you're real, then you should be able to take what you're dishing out, and so I wasn't a fan of that. I was actually more relatable to like a Kenya and a Portia. And the reason being, neither one of them at the time had children. They were not. Well, Portia came in married, but she was I was more on the side of Kenya at the time, because me and her had the similar frequency. Neither one of us had children. Neither one of us were married. And, you know, you felt like you were kind of judged based upon the fact that you were single at your age without children. So that energy is what my ego actually gravitated towards. But I also did relate to Portia in a lot of ways. Still want to have girls want to have fun and things like that once she kind of broke up with Cordell. But I'm saying all this to say is that each one of those people actually fit into a puzzle. It's like the 12 houses on an astrological chart or a natal chart. You have from Aries to Pisces, and each one of them displays a certain energy. Okay, yeah, where was I? And all of their energy together will form a single organism or a working body, like how your body has single organisms that do certain functions, but they all basically are working together for the good of your body. So you have cells in your heart that are serving the function in order to keep the blood pumping to your heart, and then you have cells that are in your brain that do work to keep your brain functioning properly, and so on and so forth. And if there is a cell that is diseased, or a cell that is, ill, then it will cause illness or a sickness to your whole body. So each cell plays its part, and as long as you appreciate and love on each cell, then you have a healthy working body. And these reality shows actually play on the disease part of it for the most part. So they actually kind of make you kind of choose a side, choose a team. So either you're team Nene, your team Portia, your team Candy. And I have realized that I'm at the point where I do not choose the side. Like, I literally can see the balance in how each one of those people works to make that show a popular show. And everyone's contribution is needed in order for that, like I said, the whole body to operate properly. So that's why I'm able to like actually watch the show after almost 3 years. Actually, yeah, almost 3 years, and then like not judge one particular person and say that I don't like a Nene or whatever. I actually see the importance of a Nene. Nene brings a lot of that energy of a very strong-willed person, and the kind of person who actually kind of can bring everything together and keep the show running. And she brings a sense of humor that if her humor wasn't there, you can actually tell when she's not there, the humor actually kind of falls short, because she is a intricate part in the way that body works of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And the same thing for a Portia or Candy or whatever. They all play their part. So really, I just wanted to express in this video how when you get to a certain point in your consciousness, and you get to a certain point in understanding how everybody works, like even how in my family, it's 4 daughters, so I am one of 4, and I have an older sister and I have 2 younger sisters. So my oldest sister is a Capricorn energy. She's very earthy, she is very materialistic, she gets things done on a material level, but at the same time, she's also the one I would go to for advice, because she would give me that very, straight to the point advice, and say, hey, this is what you need to do, or this is how I see it, I should say. And then the sister under me, she was more of the party girl, have fun. She had 4 children, but at the same time, she still brought fun and hilarity to a situation. So she would come in there and she could make fun of you or shade you, but it would be funny. Like, you could just laugh at yourself. So she brought that type of comedy to it. And then my baby sister, she brought to the table that sense of, kind of like, her being the last one. Like, I'm the baby of the family, so you felt like being a natural nurturer to her. But at the same time, I saw her growth with becoming a mother and things like that. But she also brought that whole like kind of like aggressiveness, because she's one of those people who her mouth, like, she can pop off and let you have it. So she brought that type of protective type of nature. She was the last child, but she would be very protective of her siblings, you know what I'm saying? And then I am a natural nurturer, so even though I'm the only one who hasn't birthed any children right now in this lifetime, I'm the one who could nurture anyone. I cook the majority of the food like my mother did, and I cooked it with love and support, and I would take on my nieces and nephews like they were my own, because I saw them and I still see them as my own children, because even when I didn't consciously realize the connection, I still felt the connection. And so literally that's what you get when you watch these shows. You see how, and on the surface level, how they're showing the divide, and they're perpetuating the divide of the melanated females, and how it's a competition between everybody. Somebody has to, everybody has to prove how much money they have and how much richer they are than the other person, and how their life is better than the other person. But at the same time, you can look at it and also see how each one of those organisms, each one of those cells are working for the betterment of the body. And even if it's a diseased body, you still can see on certain episodes where they're actually getting along, just how each one of them play a part in making the show enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that it's really a short video. I just wanted to express that information to you guys because it came to me as I was walking, trading idle out here, because like I said, it's like 72 degrees out here, so it's a perfect temperature. And I was just standing in the grass looking at the moon, because the moon is waxing right now, going into full moon. And so when it's waxing, you can see the moon in the afternoon. When it's waning, you see the moon in the AM. So waning AM, waxing PM. That's literally how you can look at it when it's visible before it's nighttime. But anywho's, yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And, you know, I definitely know that the information that I deliver to you is food for the soul. And this is a food for the soul video. So I really appreciate you for watching. Heart, you guys. Sending love out to the ether. Peace.